What's good, y'all? This is Dom and Biv back with another episode on the Speak On It podcast, streaming live from Facebook and YouTube now. So I'm excited about that. Um, it was a good long week. You know what I mean? We had Wednesday and Friday off because of Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But over that time, a lot that happened. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to talk about it. Um, so buckle in. Let your friends know that we are live on YouTube now and on Facebook. But without further ado, let's jump right back into it. Um, I don't know where to start, man. Where I want to start, honestly, where I want to start is with something funny. Like, what the freak was Nate Robinson thinking? Like, I don't know what Nate was thinking. I had to Google it and look up his age and everything like that. Nate Robinson, 36. He's 36. He only trained 3 months for that fight. I was like, yo, I had to look at his career earnings. I had to look up his career earnings to figure out why he was fighting. Like, Nate, what was you doing? What was you doing getting in the ring, dog? What was you trying to do? What was you trying to prove? I don't know what's up with Nate Robinson, man, but
apparently he called dude out. Like from what I'm understanding is that he called dude out and it just didn't go well for him.
Listen, Nate, if you're gonna call somebody out,
you gotta do better than that.
I heard him. I see his Twitter feed. He was talking to Steph Curry. He said, "Man, about to make history." You goddamn right, you made history.
Insta meme is what he probably just created. Insta meme.
Yo,
I'll say this. He came out way too aggressive. Like he was shot out of a cannon, man. I was like, man, he got to calm down. And before I knew it, he was out. Like, yeah. He just came out way too hot, man. He came out like a little dude trying to fight, and he don't really want to fight. He want to wrestle. Yo. You know what I mean? It looked like he wanted to tussle and get him on the ground, and dude was like, "No, we came here to throw hands, and that's what I'm gonna do." And then, to be honest with you, the punch wasn't even like that great. I felt like he hit his head on the canvas harder than dude hit him personally. You know what I'm saying? That don't take away from how funny it was. You know what I mean? And then everybody getting all emotional about it, like leave him alone. He got hard for stepping in the ring. That ain't got nothing to do with him getting knocked out. I commend him for stepping in the ring. You know what I mean? He was a great dunker in the NBA, won 3 dunk contests. That's great. But that has nothing to do with him being knocked out and it being funny. It was funny. If you or I don't walked outside right now and got knocked out, and somebody recorded it, we'd be a meme. So why can't Nate Robinson be a meme?
We would definitely be a meme. We would definitely be trending. Just like everybody else on World Star.
Exactly. Everybody getting all in their feelings because we were roasting Nate Robinson. He should have gotten knocked out.
I was talking to my wife. I was watching it with my wife, right? And I was like, yo, do Nate Robinson got basketball sneakers on? Like, my man legit got basketball sneakers on. And then it dawned on me, yo, Nate fight how he played basketball. Aggressive. That's what he thought he was. Nate thought he was legit back on the basketball court. And he was just going to be aggressive. And he was going to throw his body around. And he was going to knock people out of the way and stuff like that. Somebody need to tell that man, Nate, this is a boxing match. Nate, this is not professional basketball. He legit fought how he played basketball. And that's what got my man knocked to the ground many times, how he got knocked to the ground in basketball. Only thing is, Nate, if you get knocked to the ground in boxing, that's a different story than getting knocked to the ground in basketball, bro.
You might not get up right away.
Like, I don't know what's good with my man, but hey, listen, shout out to my man Nate. He got in the ring. Listen, if you're gonna call somebody out, you better bring it. At least go to the 6th round, bro. Like, you only had 6 rounds, bro. You was a ball of energy in basketball. You only had 6 rounds to go, Nate. He got knocked down in the 2nd round, right? With that punch, the punch to the head, and then he got knocked out.
He didn't pace himself. He didn't pace himself at all, man.
Somebody said,
But,
yeah, he looked like he was super. Sugar Ray was like, man, he looked like he's super amped up, like he's super excited, and the
yeah,
adrenaline is kicking in, and he doesn't know how to amp down. The boy is a
yeah,
professional boxer, though. I mean, the boy had one fight. The Jack Paul, he had one fight. He's been training for a while now. So, Nate, before you call somebody out, man, just check their track record. Check their track record. Apparently, him and his brother legit do this. So before you do it, make sure you check your track record. And yeah, shout out to my man Nate, man. Yo, I legit saw a TikTok today, and it was like Nate how Nate Robinson ordered food. It was like, yeah, can I get an order? The dude was like, hold on, man, one minute. He looked up. He said, "You Nate Robinson?" He was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Can I get a Big Mac?" He was like, "What you gonna do if I don't, Nate? What you gonna do if I don't, Nate?" What? What? He was like, I said, "What you gonna do if I don't?" Then he was like, "Bruh, so you're not gonna give me a Big Mac?" He was like, "Man, what, Nate? What you doing with them hands, Nate? You wanna catch some hands?" And he was like, Nate was like, "Man, I'm just gonna get up out of here." I said, "Yo, they legit roasting this dude everywhere I turn. Everywhere I turn, they legit roasting this dude, bro. He probably more famous now than he is when he playing basketball."
He better hope for something to happen real quick, so people can move on. Otherwise, this is not gonna stop.
Listen, his best bet was what we can talk about next is for either Roy Jones or Tyson to get knocked out by somebody, but that ain't happened. So this is what we got to talk about. We got to talk about Nate Robinson getting knocked out by the boy, which is hilarious. Like you said, that was hilarious. Anyway, to the next joint, right? Legend versus legend. Did it live up to the hype? For me, I'm gonna say it was something nice to see. I mean, history in the making. Only thing is we was like 25 years too late with the fight. We was 25 years too late with the fight. I swear on everything, when I saw Mike Tyson and when I saw Roy, I said, yo, they gotta be on drugs, one of them. Like Mike Tyson, why you so skinny? Like Mike Tyson legit look so small. Like, Mike, why you look so small, bruh? And Roy, I said, man, Roy look old. Roy definitely look old. Like, I said, man, who is that? Roy look old.
They were definitely shells of them former selves, and they both looked much better as they should have when they were training. You know what I mean? Nobody was punching back at them. They had no fear of anybody doing anything back to them. So it looked like two old men fighting.
That's exactly what it looked like.
That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like two old men fighting. It didn't look like either one of them really wanted to hurt the other one. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it was just something to do on a Saturday night. Like, no other big fights was on. You know, no big time college football games was on. Anything like that. So it was nothing else to do. I thought the first fight was probably the best fight. Because even the one after that, it was one-sided.
All of them one-sided, except the first fight and the Roy Jones in them fight.
Yeah, but it was all in all. I thought it was a good night.
It was a good night.
It was a good night for that card.
Highlighted by Nate Robinson, which we're gonna talk about for
Nate Robinson and Snoop Dogg stole the show Saturday night.
Legit. And then I ain't gonna talk about the boy. I don't know. I forget. Saint something. I said, man, what is he talking about? Anyway, like I said, it was a good night. Good night. I don't know if it was a Thriller. I think that was the sponsor or something like that. But shout out to them for doing it. It was entertaining. Hopefully we can see more stuff like more celebrity fights and stuff like that. Maybe. Yeah. Oh man, somebody about to crash the house.
I thought
but like you said, a lot of other things happened during the week. we had college basketball kickoff, which I'm excited about. We got the preseason for basketball. That the preseason schedule for NBA, so I'm excited about that as well. We had a lot of upsets in college basketball. Let's talk about how Virginia went down to San Fran.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't shocking to me. And here's why. Virginia always plays good defense, but they struggle at times to score.
I was going to say the same thing.
You know what I mean? And when I think the score at like halftime was like 23-21. So San Francisco never felt like they were out of that game. And again, you hear it all the time. The longer an underdog stays around, the more confidence they get. And those guys played really, really well and was able to pull it off. But again, it's COVID. Guys have been in and out of the gym because of this or that. So it's going to be a lot of early upsets. I think who else? Nova went down.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky went down. So I also think that teams that have been playing together a little longer, juniors and seniors, upperclassmen, they're going to be better. They're going to be better equipped to handle situations like this just because of their maturity and because of them being together and playing together a little longer.
I legit think, like what you said, that this benefits more of the upperclassmen because they have been together longer. They know how to play together. With a lot of freshmen that's going to come in, and freshman stars who are going to come in and they ain't going to know how to play together. They're basically playing pickup basketball. That's what it looked like right now. They're basically playing pickup basketball with the upperclassmen. With Nova, they look like and Nova showed it early on. They showed it early on, like we look like the best team in this tournament. Outside of the Gonzaga, which I'm probably gonna get to, but Gonzaga looked real good as well. But Villanova looked real good. The crazy thing about the Villanova loss is because they got greedy. They actually was only supposed to play. I think they are who they are. They 2-1. They were supposed to play two games in this classic. They actually called Virginia Tech and said they want to play another game. And they played Virginia Tech. And actually, they was playing real good in that game. They was looking real good in that game. You know what I mean? I just think the 3 games in 3 nights called up to them. That's what happened.
Again, they got it. These teams are, because I didn't know that until I actually started digging into it. They're basically scheduling games on the fly right now. With everything going on, like they're literally outside of these tournaments that were orchestrated in the offseason, they still had some teams pull out and they had to call up teams and reschedule and move things around. But they're really scheduling on the fly, like almost week to week. They're scheduling games. So you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You probably don't got a lot of tape on teams. Teams don't have a lot of tape on you. It's going to be an interesting season. I think once everything else kind of dies down, I think college basketball is going to be in a good situation once everybody gets off campus and you can have that hub. I think their situation as far as dealing with COVID will be fine, and it's going to lead to some really, really good basketball.
I agree. Like I said, I wouldn't. For me, if I'm the rankers, I wouldn't take too much stock into what's happening this weekend because, like I said, it's the first time you out there playing basketball, probably in almost a year. Yeah, I mean, since February, March. So that's 9 months. First time they've been out there playing basketball, and for some of them, like even longer than that. So, it's a lot of rust going on right now. So I wouldn't really take too much stock into like the Nova loss. You definitely, to me, I'm saying that I wouldn't take too much stock in a couple of losses, but that Virginia loss, I would look at heavily. Being as though that it's a loss to a San Francisco team. You know what I mean? Who's probably not even going to get into a tournament game. So I would look at that one heavy. I would also look at like the UCLA loss. I would look at that one as well. But I like the Nova loss, some of the other losses. I would definitely look heavy into that Kentucky loss as well. So I'm saying I wouldn't look at it too heavy, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, you know what? They lost to some team that they shouldn't have lost to. Like I forget who. Let me see who. I forget who's. Kentucky lost to Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Coach Calipari team. They shouldn't lose to They shouldn't lose to a Richmond team.
Yeah, and I get, I'm with you. They shouldn't lose. Virginia shouldn't lose to San Francisco either. But when they beat it, Virginia beats North Carolina twice, beats Duke twice. Nobody really care about. Nobody's gonna care about
Duke twice, but North Carolina. Hey, listen, that North Carolina win might not even hold no weight either. Because I'm looking at them right now. They're getting smacked by UNLV. So that game, that game might not hold that too much weight either. You know what I mean? So, but I'm with you. Going back to your first point, we were talking about the Virginia move. I'm with you with the Virginia game. They are known for their defense, and I am. Virginia's gonna be a tough out regardless. I mean, they're gonna play great defense. They're gonna be in the thick of things, in the thick of the ACC tournament. So I think they're gonna be. I think they'll be right there. I think it'll be good. I think they'll be straight. Gonzaga look like a monster right now. I was talking to my brother-in-law the other day. I was saying, like, man, Gonzaga look good, but I'm never sold on Gonzaga. Never sold on Gonzaga. They look like they're ranked number 1 team in the nation, but then they mess around and lose in the tournament. You know what I mean? So I'm not really sold on Gonzaga, even though they do look good in this tournament right now. I'm just not really big sold on Gonzaga right now, nor am I sold on Baylor. So.
I'm gonna say something a little controversial. I'm gonna start believing in Gonzaga a little bit more. They got a little bit more brothers on the team. Just gonna be real. Just gonna be real. They got brothers on the team, and I'm not saying that anything about the race thing, but it's just when you have those superior athletes, they can make up for some of the mistakes that you might make. That's all I'm saying. They are starting to get superior athletes. I think they had one of the top players in the nation, one of the top freshmen in the nation, and on the roster, which is not something that they're used to having. So again, they are as good as Gonzaga has been over the last decade and a half. This is probably the best team that they've had. And I'm not saying I'm not believing in them because of their history. I'm not believing in them because right now they're playing better than everybody else, and I want to see what they're going to be playing like towards the end of the season. Right now, they're the best. They're the best team in the country, and they're definitely a Final Four team. And if you don't have them in your Final Four, it's just some Gonzaga hate. Yeah. They are definitely legit. But I hope, and I'm just being real, I hope they don't peak too soon and then dwindle off at the end of the year and run into that slump. Because playing in that West Coast Conference, man, it does. It mellows you out when you're not playing against top-notch competition night in and night out for 2 months. You go the entire month of January, the entire month of February, where you're 21, 25-point favorite in a basketball game. So that hurt. That, in my opinion, that hurts them when it comes to tournament time because they have to get themselves back up all the time. So but they're definitely a really good team this year, no doubt.
I definitely think they are a very good team. And when I say I honestly, if I had to pick a Final Four, just forecasting right now, I probably won't have Gonzaga in my Final Four. Talent-wise, I say they are. Talent-wise, they are. They're a Final Four team. Talent-wise, they probably can be. They probably should win it all, just talent-wise. But history shows me that Gonzaga would somewhere along the line will lose, no matter how good they are. They can go undefeated, and somewhere along the line in the tournament, they will lose. That's why I said the same thing about Baylor. Baylor's high right now, but history tells me that somewhere along the line, in the tournament, Baylor will lose.
I'm with you.
So that's why, I mean, I'm not really. From what I've seen, they're great. They both look good. Both look like the number one and number two team in the nation. Shoot, Villanova looked like the number 3 team in the nation until they got smacked by Virginia Tech. So they look good, like I said, but around somewhere down along the line, they will lose. And I'll say this about Villanova. Villanova, I don't think they've had a season where they haven't lost. You know what I mean, early. And then they came back and put it together. So I'm real high on Villanova. I'm more high on Villanova, even with that one loss, than I would be with Gonzaga and Baylor. Even though, and it ain't because I like Villanova and I root for Villanova, J. Ray. It's just history. What history has shown me. So, yep, that is about it. So, what else we got on the chat? This is what I wanted to ask you real quick. We got some baseball news, or some couple things that happened in baseball. Like you have the Cubs giving the tender to Chris Bryant. I wonder if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. Or if it's just, and it can't be like they're tendering him to trade him, because that'd be stupid. But for me, it's like, why? Why do that? You know what I mean? Why tender him? When I think he's already came out, said that he wants to get traded. He doesn't want to be there. And then if you were going to extend him or give him a contract, why take him through arbitration? Why play with his money? And then the next year come back and tender him to offer him a contract by Wednesday.
I think they want to keep him. I do think they want to keep him. I don't think he wants to be there.
You say you think he wants to be there, or you don't think he wants to be there?
I don't think he wants to be there.
Yeah, me either.
I don't think he wants to be there. I think they're doing what they can to keep him or get something for him versus just letting him walk away. So I think that's why they're tendering him. And they're probably gonna try to do some sort of trade with a team that he's willing to sign with long term and get something for him. But the Cubs, they probably need to move a few people, to be honest with you. But I don't know. The Cubs, when they won the World Series, you kind of seen the window of that team longer. And then all of a sudden they slammed shut. I don't know what happened or really even when it happened. But all of a sudden you were just like, the Cubs are done. And I think that's probably what they're thinking as well. It's time to just go ahead and destroy and rebuild.
Do they think they're done? Well, like I said, with Theo walking away, them tendering him, like you said, that could be set up for them wanting to to get something for him. But I think that the best time to get something for him was last year or the year before when they took him through arbitration. You know what I mean? Now he's a year older, or 2 years older when he actually wanted to be out. And I think that was the best time to actually get something for him, was around that time. But like I said, we'll see. But I don't think it's smart for them to do. You know what I mean? Or I don't think that it's the right timing for them to do what they're doing right now. So in other baseball news, I hate talking about it because it affects my Phillies. The Mets are super interested in Realmuto, JT Realmuto. Of course, I hate it because we letting the best center or catcher in the league, in my opinion, walk for a hot top young pitcher who's coming to his own. Like, we gave up a top young pitcher who's balling right now to get JT Realmuto, and then you let him walk away for nothing. So I hate it from that standpoint because it affects the Phillies. I also hate it from the other standpoint because if he goes to the Mets, he comes back and plays the Phillies. But I like it for the Mets because I think it's exactly what they needed. I think we talked about it. I talked about it on all season needs for the Mets. They need a catcher, and I think if you can get the best catcher in baseball, to me, it instantly upgrades your team. So I like it from that standpoint. For what the Mets is doing, I hate it because how it doubly impacts the Phillies.
I feel for you. All I can say is I feel for you. If it happens, I feel for you. It's a great move for the Mets. Definitely can help with that pitching staff that they have. Getting a guy like JT definitely helps with that lineup because he's another guy that can really do it all, and he can probably hit between 2 and 5 in that lineup. So that's a great move for the Mets, and not a good look for the Phillies. So
yeah,
get yourself together, Philly.
Philly, yeah, hopefully, all Phillies. I don't know what's going on with the Phillies organization. Another person that impacts the Phillies, which I didn't know we was going to go after him anyway. We signed for 1 year. Didi Gregorius, the Reds are interested in him. The Reds are interested in shortstops, period. More importantly, I think that they will try to go after Francisco Lindor. Good move, bad move. What you think?
For the Reds?
Mm-hmm.
If you can add any bet to that lineup, go for it. Because you've been relying on the power of Joey Votto, and then you'll have the pop-up year of Eugenio Suarez pop up and have a great year, and Scooter Gennett popped up and had a good year, but no consistency really since who was the second baseman that played there for forever with Joey Votto? Second baseman, shortstop, whatever. But anyway, they haven't really had a consistent bet since then. That's how long it's been since he's been there. But I can't even think of his name right now. But getting another bet in that lineup, I still think that pitching staff is solid. It's not great, but I think it's good enough to get you to the playoffs like it did last year. But adding another bet is mandatory.
Why can't I find out his name? Anyway, I'm with you. I agree. Especially if you can get one of the best at their position to do it. And Francisco Lindor. If you can find the pop in Didi Gregorius, that will also be great.
Brandon Phillips,
a great add to that lineup. So I'm with you. I agree with that. So yeah, that's our little bit of baseball news. So now on to this basketball, this football. Talking about college and regular. I talked to you a little bit about it before we got on air. Said, man, Liberty. I don't even know if I checked it or not, but Liberty should be ranked. I didn't even check the ranking since Saturday, but Liberty should definitely, or if not, they definitely put people on notice, or the committee on notice to let them know, y'all must have forgot how dominant we was. Even in a 1-point loss to North Carolina State, they still should have been ranked. But what they did to the team the team that they played next, they definitely should have been ranked after that. I'm looking, I'm checking. Liberty is ranked. They're ranked 25th.
But in the one that don't matter. At this point, the AP and the coaches poll, they don't matter anymore. You know what I mean? The only thing that matters is that selection committee, who didn't have them ranked at all last week, who had BYU at 14 for some odd reason. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting this week to see where they have Liberty. Then you had so many teams that didn't play, so I don't. There's not going to be any change in the top four. That's for sure.
And like you said, which is dumb. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, okay. So this was last week. They haven't. They're gonna show it. They'll show the next coaching poll on Wednesday, right?
I think the committee meet probably tomorrow. I think it's
Okay.
Tuesday.
Because I'm looking, I'm like, dumb. They definitely should. If they don't have them in the polls this week, I'm looking. Trying to think who could have fell out. Did Tulsa win this week? I believe they. I think they played Tulane. I think they won their game. Yep. Tulane won their game. Yeah. So, BYU, if they have BYU still ranked 14th, if they don't have Liberty ranked, and if they have, I'm interested to see where Northwestern falls as well. If they have Northwestern still ahead of BYU, I legit don't understand it.
Yeah. We're gonna see. Like Auburn lost, they were 22nd. Think North Carolina lost, but they did lose to Notre Dame. We'll see how they handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Texas shouldn't be ranked, in my opinion.
See, that's tough for me. That's tough.
We're 5-3.
I know. They 5-3.
I know you high.
17th.
I know you high. No. They 5-3.
No. It's tough because how do you fall from 17th to not being ranked?
They shouldn't have been ranked in the first place.
I'm not mad if they aren't ranked. But that was a tough game. Like they lost a tough game. They lost a tough game. So I'm not mad if they aren't ranked. But it's like, who do you? Is it just that you're knocking them out and putting Liberty in? Like shoot. Matter of fact, let me go to the AP polls and see if Texas is ranked. I don't know if they're ranked in the AP polls or the coaching polls.
They're not ranked in the AP polls.
So, yeah, they're not ranked in the AP polls, and I think the only difference is what? Liberty?
No. Let's see. Last week, Washington, Iowa, and Liberty weren't ranked. North Carolina, Auburn, and Texas fell out.
So, this is what, because Auburn got 3 losses as well, right? And then North Carolina has 3 losses as well. Iowa is like 4-2. Liberty's 9-1. They should have never been knocked out of the rankings. And then Washington's undefeated, I believe.
Yeah.
So I got no problem with any of the rankings. So I'm with you. Auburn, Texas, North Carolina. The only issue is that they lost the 3 games. When I ranked North Carolina's losses, they lost to Miami, I think. I think they lost to Texas. I mean, not Texas. Clemson. And I want to say Notre Dame. When I look at their losses, no, actually they lost to Florida State. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Virginia. And they lost to Notre Dame. I look at their losses. I got nothing there. You shouldn't have been ranked in the first place. To me, you shouldn't have been ranked in the first place. And Mac Brown actually had the chance to win that game, or it was close. So yeah, I got no issues with that. The Texas losses, you lost to 2 ranked teams. I know they lost 3 games, but they lost to 3 ranked teams or 2 ranked teams. How can you knock somebody for that. And even when I'm talking about with Auburn, they lost a number of ranked teams.
I can knock Texas because Texas lost 2 of those 3 games at home. The other was a neutral site game. So I'm gonna hold it on them. I'm gonna hold it on them. Again, this was the year that they were supposed to be their year to win the Big 12. Oklahoma didn't have the guy that's been in the system for a year or two coming in, or the transfer coming in that's won a national championship and played in another national championship game. They had a true freshman coming in to play quarterback. Yeah, that's what they have.
You're a monster though, man.
He is. He not better than the Sam is right now.
That's tough.
Dom, you keep coming down. You keep pulling your man Sam down, man.
Listen. He got to win big games, man. He got to win big games. Listen, Sam is actually the best player. He's the best quarterback. He was the best. I thought he was the best quarterback in that conference. I'm gonna tell you this: as the season went along, I'm like, yo, is he better than him? He balling right now, man. He's balling. His opportunity to be a top 10 pick when he come out. But
this is the thing, and I don't want people to say like you're saying he's gonna be a bust or anything like that. No. What I'm saying is he has not performed at the collegiate level. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that didn't perform at the collegiate level, and then it clicked when they got to the NFL.
You talking about Rattler?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Ehlinger.
Oh, Ehlinger.
Yeah, because I still think Sam's going to be a decent NFL quarterback. I just hope that something clicks when he gets there.
I think he's going to be cool all over.
See,
Nico had a better college career.
Justin, nobody thought Justin Herbert would be who he is right now.
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
People thought he was a great prospect, but he looked like he was head and shoulders the best quarterback in that draft right now.
Shout out to my brother John Wilcher. He an Oregon Duck fan. He said he should have went number 2 behind Joe because of the season Joe had. So I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. He said that the boy was gonna win Rookie of the Year. I gotta give credit where credit is due. He said he was gonna win Rookie of the Year. Justin Herbert, I'm with you. Justin Herbert, like I said, nobody thought he was gonna have this season, except the Oregon people. You know what I mean? Except the people in Oregon. Even the Chargers didn't think he was gonna have the season because he wasn't supposed to be the starter. Tells you a lot. Well, I guess it tells me. I don't know if it tells me a lot because I don't know what Anthony Lynn is doing. So I don't know if it tells me a lot or not. But I'm with you. I'm with you. There are players who nobody expect to have these great seasons, and then all of a sudden, like you said, something clicks for them in the pros, and they look like all pro. They look like, I'm not saying that that's what Sam is going to be. But for me, if you're not winning big games, like you've been in a lot of close big games, Sam, and you have yet to win them. For that holds a lot of weight to me.
I feel like Tom Warner on the hot seat.
Listen, I'm with you. I think when we did our coaches on the hot seat, did we have time? I don't know if I had Tom Herman on there or not.
Because we were still optimistic on this season. That's why we didn't have him on there. We were still optimistic. Both of us still thought that they were going to at least get into the Big 12 championship, if not win it. I still was like, I think we're going to get Texas, Oklahoma part 2. I felt that. But Iowa State said,
Iowa State said, we in the driver's seat.
So,
I'm high on Brock Purdy, too. So, I like Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. Let me ask you this. Who is the best team in the Pac-12? Because I don't know. I don't know. I legit don't know who the best team in the Pac-12 is. I know early on, we said we was high on Arizona State,
and I still am.
but I don't know who's the best team in the Pac. I don't know who the best team in the Pac-12 is. Just what's name is undefeated, right?
Washington,
USC.
Washington, USC, and Colorado are all undefeated. Yes, and Arizona State hasn't played since the USC loss.
And when I look at the rankings, right? Looking at the rankings, AP polls have Oregon at 21. They still have Washington at ranked number 23. They got USC at 17. Colorado's not ranked. This is where I'm like, who is the best team in this conference? Because the team that looks the best, could you say Colorado?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched them.
Colorado?
Mm-mm. I've watched Oregon. I watched the Oregon State game. I've watched USC in Arizona State. I've watched UCLA in Arizona. And who did I watch? I think I watched Stanford get beat up by somebody. But
Oregon. I think we were watching it. Was it the Oregon Stanford game?
I think it was Oregon. But other than that, I really haven't watched it because I knew what it was going to be. A lot of mediocrity. I still think that Arizona State, with that coaching staff, to me, has the biggest upside. And I really felt like, even though they lost that game to USC, they were the better team on the football field that day. Only problem is we haven't seen them play since then.
Mm-hmm. Right now, USC has had had to have a couple of fourth quarter comebacks, like you said. I thought that Arizona State was a better team than them. The team they played the week after that, I thought was a better team than them. They had to come from behind. I can't remember who they played. Washington and Colorado looks like the best team in the Pac-12 to me. Washington has a good defense. It's solid. So I think Washington is the best team in there. I actually think that I think Washington's actually I was thinking about who could possibly play for that conference championship. And I'm thinking maybe we talk about it on another show. But I think Washington is probably the best team and right now in that conference right now.
I don't know. I haven't seen them play.
Oh yeah, Oregon. I keep forgetting about Arizona State, but like I said, we only played once.
Looking at Washington's schedule, I haven't seen them play. I seen they beat Oregon State by 6. They blew out Arizona, and they beat Utah by 3. All of them were at home. So to me, you won those games, but you didn't blow out Oregon State. I haven't been impressed by them. They beat Oregon. That was a rivalry game. I don't put too much weight into it. You blew out Arizona, whatever, and you beat Utah by 3. So I'm gonna have to see them play. They play Oregon on the 12th. I guess that'll probably be for the Pac-12 North. So we'll see.
Let me look at this. The Bumbo. Penn State, Michigan. The Bumbo, man.
I can't tell you nothing about the game.
I listen. I didn't watch it either, so
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch a highlight. I ain't looked at nothing.
The only time I watched, the only highlight I seen was the ones that popped up on my screen that said Oregon. Michigan score or Penn State score. Other than that, I'm with you. I was like, man, I'm listening. I'm a diehard Penn State fan. I was like, man, I can care less about the game. Care less about it.
I had no interest in that game.
I think that game might have sealed it. Might have sealed it for Jim. It might have sealed it for him.
I think it's already been sealed. I just feel like they don't want to do it right now.
Why?
I think they want to. Because I think they want to fire everybody.
Like when you lose to that,
it's a fire sale. It's a fire sale.
All right, listen, the guy do something.
Head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. They're gonna let all of them go, and they're gonna start anew. And that's the only reason they haven't done it yet. Because if you fire all three, like who you gonna make the coach, the linebacker coach, the linebacker coach?
Hey, listen, I'm with you. I'm gonna say this. I was on the fire James Franklin boat bandwagon. He didn't win me over this one game, just over his body of work. I was like, man, he got 3 11-win seasons. I think he might deserve the benefit of the doubt for one more season. It is 2020. It is 2020. Yeah, I mean, maybe Jim should get a pass for it being 2022. I don't.
No, I could give James. I didn't think James Franklin should be on the hot seat. You know me. I think he's one of the better motivators, or at least like type of coaches in the Big Ten. Jim Harbaugh probably should have been fired 3 years ago. Just being real.
He got like 700. He got a 700 winning record.
Yeah, he beats up on bad teams. Good for him. Like, he can't win big games. He doesn't beat our rivals. He should have been gone. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Hey, listen, I want to do this real quick. I want to say this. I want to say when we do our power rankings, I will no longer be disrespecting Alabama. I will no longer be disrespecting Alabama when we do our power rankings. Where they fall at, I don't know, but I will no longer be disrespecting Alabama. They did their thing. Hey, listen, and again, it's like what I said to Saman the other day. I think it's by their own standard.
Like, man, we are bored of them. We're bored of them. Like, we are so sick. It has been a decade of them either going to the national championship or losing and allowing somebody else to get there. Like, that has what it's been for a decade. We just get tired of them. We're bored of them. They're gonna put out a wide receiver. Now they all of a sudden they got quarterbacks. So like, like we just super bored of them. Like they just smacked Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Just smacked them. Like we always say when you talk about rivals, throw out records, talent discrepancy don't matter. Alabama said, "Oh, it don't. Oh, it do. It do." And
they threw out all the myths. That's what they did.
And it was so funny because I kept watching. I had to see it probably like 5 or 6 times this week. The kick six. I seen it at least 5 or 6 times. I was like, man, why do y'all keep showing it? Like, that's not good. That's not good. And they embarrassed.
The crazy thing about it is right. I know Auburn went in there like, yeah, we got an edge. No Nick on the sideline. We got an edge. Well, the coach, coach who was coaching, like he was coaching for another. He was probably coaching for that Auburn job. That's why
Steve. I was going to say Steve Sarkisian getting ready to get the Auburn job after the offensive performance Alabama just put on, and their defense is not bad. It's not bad.
It's just that the offense has caught up to it, which we are not used to.
I think the offense surpassed them.
They did surpass it. And they got like Tua paved the way. And I'm gonna tell you this: Tua paved the way for those quarterbacks. Well, it was Jalen. It started with Jalen. People thought Jalen was just a game manager. He went to.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I think it started with Blake. Blake Sims kind of gave them the blueprint of the quarterback that they could have if he was a more accurate passer, but the same athlete with the weapons that we have. And we've been running back U since 2010. Now we're turning into wide receiver U on top of that. Blake Sims was just the prototypical quarterback that they need. We need a guy that can move and as long as he's accurate, we'll be fine. And that's what they had now, man. Like Mac's not a crazy athlete, but he moves well enough to put the ball where it needs to be, and those weapons. They got creative players, man.
Yo, I was legit looking at the roster today. I'm like, man, they lost Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and they lost Jalen Waddle. I'm like, the offense has to slow down when you lose those three type of receivers. And then I'm like, okay, you look up and it's like freaking Devontae Smith got 1,000 yards, like 13 touchdowns. In that freaking Auburn game, he went bananas.
He's the all-time leader of receiving touchdowns in the SEC history.
And I'm like, oh.
And we thought they were going to fall off.
Like you just said, wide receiver you. That's what it is right now. They are churning out wide receivers like it's nothing right now. That's what they're doing. They're churning out these receivers. And I'm telling you, they got another one in line. He was the third wide receiver until Jalen Waddle went down. And he stepped up this year, and now he's balling like. And Mac Jones, like I said, solid. But I'm gonna say one thing. Like I said, bro, running back you, he's the best. He's the best wide receiver. He's the best player on their team that people really ain't talking about. But where they messed up at, I'm gonna just say it one time, then we can move on. They shouldn't have let Baby Tua go. Baby Tua out here outside of the game he had on this Saturday. Baby Tua, like he can play in college. Like he can play in college, man. He should have waited his turn. And he could have been that guy.
Man, why wait your turn when you can go make a name for yourself?
I got you. I understand, man. You ain't gonna win a national championship in Maryland.
Nah.
You ain't gonna win a national championship in Maryland. And listen, and shoot, listen, he got some wide receivers out there too. He got some weapons out there as well.
Maryland is talented. I'm not sure why it's not translating to wins, but they have had some good recruiting classes. Maryland is talented. Oh man, and I can't before we move on, man. My man Penix from Indiana, man. Man, that's a tough blow. He had just came back from injury from my understanding, last year, right? Mm-hmm. He came back halfway through the year or something like that. So,
yeah. And listen, he was having a monster year.
Absolutely, was having a monster year. Making a big name for himself, putting that Indiana program in a good place, man. So shout out to him. Speedy recovery, man.
Looking at, I'm scrolling through, seeing if we miss anything in college. Something else. Oh, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this also. Trevor makes a difference. Trevor, listen, DJ, you was my guy. I was rolling with you. I'm like, man, listen, he could be the next in line. He is next in line. But Trevor make a difference. If Trevor's just a bad dude, man. He just different. He's just a different type of quarterback. Shout out to my man Trevor coming back, man. He's a different quarterback.
I'm definitely looking forward to Clemson Notre Dame too now.
Definitely. Listen. Notre Dame struggled with a couple of other teams. If they struggle, they had to be on their, like, I feel as though they had to be on their A game when Trevor wasn't there, and they could have lost that game. Trevor's back,
and Clemson was missing some defensive guys too. Yeah. In that game, so it wasn't just Trevor that was missing from that game. They had some defensive guys missing too. But Notre Dame is going to be a tough out. Notre Dame continues to. When you think this is the game that they could lose, they find a way to win. That shows me something. So Notre Dame's going to be a tough out, and I still believe that even if Notre Dame loses in the ACC championship game, they're going to be in the college football playoff. So
they win any way you need them to win. Notre Dame. I think I'm constantly going into it like I need to see a big blowout game. They might not have big blowout games. They may win two touchdowns, but they win They win however you need them to win. Ugly, run the ball. Okay, all they are is a passing team. I mean, a running team and a defensive team. Make Ian Book pass.
Yep.
They make Ian Book pass, and he's showing that he can
Doesn't
beat
matter.
he can beat you with the arm as well. That quarterback, that wide receiver they found, I think like 6'5". I forget his name. I think
Another
number
one.
11.
So another big receiver.
He looking
Like-
good.
Like Boykins. So they're turning
So-
them out.
They looking good. So want to shout them out. Say something about that. LSU need to fire the whole staff.
Man,
Heisman.
I knew they was gonna be some trash, man. I knew there was gonna be some trash.
Now listen, we talking about, man. They lost like every starter.
They lost everything, man.
Yo,
That don't mean that the quarterback doesn't need to be throwing the ball around like he was the other day. I don't mean that. Goodness gracious, he was terrible.
Coastal Carolina had another big win. They keep disrespecting Coastal Carolina. Who else they're disrespecting right now? We talked about it. Marshall. We'll see what happens with that because I think Liberty got a game coming up against Coastal Carolina, right? So they got a game coming up. So we'll see. Shout out to my Heisman Trophy winner, my man Kyle Trask did his thing again on Saturday. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna tell you this is really gonna be interesting, man. Like you say, I think Bama will play Florida. I'm interested to see that. I'm interested in seeing that matchup. That's gonna be a matchup right there. That's gonna be a matchup. Mac Jones, and his guys. Mac Jones is probably the best wide receiver playing right now in college. Versus the best tight end who's playing right now in college. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. And honestly, I legit think neither one of them plays defense right now this year.
You saying Bama don't play defense?
When they play against these top high power offenses, I haven't seen them play any defense. I think they put up a lot of points. But when they play a high power offense, who do they shut down when they play? What high power offense have they shut down?
What high power offense have they played?
They play Texas A&M, who put up 24 against them. They play Georgia, who put up 24 against them. And these not even high power offenses. They put up 24 against them. They outscored them.
I don't really think. I think 24 is a pretty decent number.
I think West Name put up 24. I think Georgia put up 24
The only
against them.
thing is, if it's 27-24, be like, man, that was a good game. You know, Bama's defense did what it had to do. Like, I mean,
Look at these numbers. Yeah, Georgia put up 24 against them. Oh, Miss put up 48 against them.
that's the Lane Kiffin game. I'm not buying anything Lane Kiffin.
Bama, how many games Bama got?
They also pressed a shutout against Mississippi State. They gave up 3 against Kentucky and 13 against Auburn.
Kentucky, and I can't say nothing about Kentucky. Well, Kentucky only put up 10 against Florida. Kentucky has a terrible offense this year. Auburn has a terrible offense this year.
I don't think Auburn has a terrible offense.
Auburn.
I think Auburn's offense is decent.
I'm trying to figure out how many points Auburn's highest scoring game this year, 48 against LSU. Everybody put up points against LSU unless you're Texas A&M. So we'll see. Listen. Again, maybe it's because we're used to these knockdown. Like when I think about Alabama's defense, I think about shutdown defense. I don't know if they have a shutdown player on their team this year on defense.
I don't think the days of dominant defenses in college is gone. I don't think we're gonna have those juggernaut defenses anymore. Just because There's too many skilled dudes out here, and these quarterbacks is too good, and these offensive coordinators are too good. They're gonna scheme for you, and they're gonna expose you. Think about it. Even when Alabama was kind of known for having good defenses, Johnny Manziel used to light them up.
Light them up. Yep.
And Deshaun Watson would too. So so even when they was known for having the good defenses, they would still get lit up. They just would find a way to win those games. I just think now their offense is just so good. You're gonna have to hope that they are having an off night to beat Alabama. Same thing with Clemson.
Which is what I'm thinking about, because even when we talk about those offenses, I still am taking Florida offense over both of those offenses. Florida has a ranked number.
No way.
Florida has the number 8 ranked offense in college football right now, and the only ones that's probably better than them is some trash offenses. Florida's offenses now. Clemson has bigger names, and Alabama has bigger names. But offensively, I feel like Kyle Trask is playing better football at that position than both Trevor and Mac. I think the coach is scheming a better game than the other two coaches. So yeah, we'll see.
Florida's offense is crazy. But Florida's offense, skill for skill, position for position, is not as good as
skill for skill, position for position. I agree. This is what I'm gonna say to you right now is Alabama has the 6th rated offense in college football right now, so I stand corrected. And Clemson has the 9th rated offense right now, so I stand corrected on both of those things, and that's based off of this Saturday, because Florida dropped as well.
Yeah, Florida's offense it was humming, but last couple of weeks they have not been as dominant as we would have expected them versus Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Like I thought both of those games were a bit of a letdown offensively, but their defense was better than it had been. Maybe the defense is coming around when it needs to. They got a tough one this week at Tennessee, only because it's a rivalry game. But I expect them to go in there and blow the doors off Tennessee.
So they got the ranked number 2 passing game in the nation, though. So we'll see. Like I said, they can't run the ball.
They probably have the most dominant weapon in college football in Kyle Pitts. I'll give them that.
And I definitely agree with that.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, mismatch is probably a nightmare out there.
Yeah, you don't know what to cover him with.
Now, before we move on to the pros, is Ohio State going to make the conference championship?
Yes.
You think they're going to play enough games? Because I think in order you had to play at least 6 games. I think
the Big Ten will not jeopardize Ohio State not making the college football playoff. They need that check just as much as Ohio State need that check. They're gonna make sure that Ohio State get enough games to play in the college football playoff.
Can we get Ohio State, Indiana too?
No,
you can't. Okay.
Indiana's in the East with us.
So who the heck plays them?
It's either going to be Northwestern or Wisconsin. And after Northwestern, man, all of those scenarios of what if, and then it just played itself out, man. It just played itself out. They went out and laid an egg against Michigan State. So what can I say other than the Northwestern? What else did we really expect?
Yeah, I ain't expect nothing. I ain't expect much. All right. On to the pros. I don't know where to start. I'll say this. The NFC East is
I'm sorry.
the best team in the NFC East. I don't know who the best team is. It's either the Giants or the football team. I don't know who wins the division. I legit don't know. But
I'll say this. It depends on the health now of Daniel Jones. I'll say that.
I agree with you. Can I say this also though? Alex Smith is actually looking good. He's actually looking good. And they got a nice little running game. Defense, that front four can get to you. Now, they was playing the Cowboys.
Which is why I'm not going to say Alex Smith look good.
So, who the heck did Daniel Jones play again? Let me see.
They played the Bengals. But he got hurt. He got hurt in this, like the second drive. But let me say this. The Cowboys, they need to just fire everybody. You can't explain to me how a team with those pass rushers is not a dominant defensive team. I really don't even care who's on the back end. The scheme that you can put together with those pass rushers, and you got guys who are multidimensional. You got guys that can stand up. You got guys that can go down into the three. Like, you got so many guys. How do they look? So the football team did what they wanted to do on offense on Thanksgiving. They did whatever they wanted to do.
Based off of, I just want to, I'm going to pile on what you said, right? They got two monster linebackers. So they got pass rushers and they got monster linebackers. And they also have okay defensive backs. I don't understand
it's scheme,
how
man.
They look trash. I don't understand it.
Because you sit there, I was like, man, Jordan Lewis, he not that bad.
Shout out to Michigan product.
Woods, he's not that bad. Xavier Woods, he's not that bad.
Shoot. Trayvon Diggs.
He's not that bad. Like, man, what in the world? Like, but they can't even get a pet with all of those great pass rushers. They can't get a pass rush.
And they got good linebackers. They can't stop a run. Yeah. I'm with you, man. Listen. Jerry Jones.
Let me say this. ESPN. We gotta get rid of this can't drop in fantasy. I've been trying to get rid of Zeke all year long. I can't trade him. I can't drop him. So I'm stuck with him. And then every week they give you that projection score where I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to fall for the trap again. I'm getting ready to start this trigger. And then I fall for it again, man. Like, yo, ESPN, man, everybody's droppable. Everybody's tradable. I want to drop him. And then when a Joker can't perform, I want to drop him. Nobody is going to take Zeke from me. He's having a terrible year. I can't trade him.
I'm going to tell you what's crazy about that, what you just said, right? Because everybody would hit me like, yo, what's up with Zeke? What's wrong with Zeke? Is Zeke having a bad year? And I think it goes to what I just said about Alabama. By his standard, because Zeke is number 8 in the league in rushing. Number 8 in the league in rushing. Got 5 touchdowns. It's just by his standard. Now, he is averaging 3.9 yards a carry.
Now, you got to go. Don't look overall, man. You got to look game to game.
I know. I'm just talking about his overall. Because I started looking at his games. I was like, he had a big game there. And like Zeke not. I think the game against the
he had 32 yards last week.
10 carries, 32 yards. That's a crazy front four to try to run up against though. It's a nasty front four to try to run up against though. What other games that? Oh my god, I can't wait till we do our power rankings on Thursday, on Wednesday.
We got to be able to do it till Friday now because the Ravens and the Steelers.
Till listen, that game ain't even gonna get played this week. That's how I feel. That game, they should have postponed the game when they said Lamar Jackson can't play. Postpone. Don't nobody want to see RG3 against the Steelers.
Nope. Play or forfeit.
Nope. Listen, they ain't forfeiting that. That's a big time game.
The player forfeit. That's the only reason the NFL didn't make the Ravens forfeit that game because they knew that they needed these ratings.
They're trying to get Lamar healthy.
They trying to get these. But think about it. Also, the Ravens broke protocol. Everybody else getting fined, but the Ravens. I haven't heard anything about the Ravens getting fined.
Hey, the Steelers broke protocol too. I think they had a couple of people that missed games as well.
Yeah, and poor Broncos, man.
Oh my god!
Shout out to my man Hinton, man. That was uncalled for. That was unnecessary.
I just told him, I just told him I need my contract guaranteed for the rest of the year, bro. Y'all need me.
I don't even need my contract guarantee. I need my money now.
I need my money right now.
My money right now. I am not putting this helmet on until my account so quick.
I need my money. That's my money. I need it now, bro.
It was like he hasn't played. He played quarterback in college. No, he didn't. He played like 2 games. Like people act like he was recruited and played 4 years of college quarterback at Wake Forest. My man only played like 2 or 3 games. They said he was like selling insurance or something crazy a couple of weeks ago. He on a practice squad. And then the next thing you know, he making an NFL start quarterback against the Saints, whose defense is playing at another level right now.
Who they played the week before? They sacked my man 7 times. I forget who they played the week before. They sacked my man 7 times. And I gotta go up against that.
Matt Ryan.
Sacked my man 7 times. And we just saw what Matt Ryan did to the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me tell you something, bro. That's my money. I need it now. That's why JG went with it.
No way, y'all said money
right now, bro.
Shout out. That's
bro. Listen,
that's a big step to take, man.
Listen, you can't go back from there. You can't go back. You can't even go back there. Listen, you can't go back to selling insurance
or whatever he was doing. I could be wrong. I don't even know.
Right. He can't go back to doing whatever he's doing. I'm with you, bro. That and the NFL set him up like the NFL set them up like that, and the Broncos set him up like that because I don't think the NFL would let the Broncos forfeit. But I'm gonna tell you, yeah, bro. Shout out to that man, bro. Shout out to that man. I wish I would have got the call. I played Madden. I played quarterback on Madden.
They said the Broncos had asked if they could let one of their coaches play quarterback. They said the NFL was like, no. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
like, that's how desperate they were. They were gonna like dust off John Elway
back out
for a 1-game comeback.
Yo, yeah. Listen, the NFL did them dirty, man.
Yeah, man,
they did them dirty, bro. They could
have pushed that back to Wednesday too, man.
Definitely should have pushed that thing back. And listen, we knew what the outcome was going to be on that game.
Yeah, they basically for a Saints team that's in the middle of a division race with the Bucks. They just got gift wrapped a win.
Yep. We knew what that game was going to be. They should have forfeited that game or postponed it or whatever. They should have did something to that game, man. And NFL, you know you did. Roger Goodell, you dead wrong for that, bro.
Man, and John Elway, man, you could have went and got Tim Tebow, bro.
He could have did something. Caught me, man. I would have got
Tim Tebow for a game, man.
He could have did something. What else happened, man? What else happened on Saturday? I just mentioned it. Like I said, can't wait till my power rankings start. I don't know who the Raiders are. I don't know who they are.
I know exactly who they are, man. They are a good young football team. And that's what we see.
They look real good against the Chiefs.
One mistake, and it snowballed completely out of control on Sunday. And I was like, man, against the Falcons though? That's who y'all gonna lay the egg against?
Against the Falcons.
The Falcons of all the teams.
And y'all wasn't even competitive. They put up 43 on you. 43.
And it wasn't it. Matt Ryan only threw for 185 yards.
They turned the ball over 5 times.
That was the difference in the game.
Yeah. John Gruden.
The pick 6, and it was a wrap after that. Like,
John Gruden, man, take the mask off. When you took the mask off, y'all was winning, man. NFL fined y'all had to put your COVID mask back on, and y'all don't look right.
You can't what's the name, man? You can't give them that
Chucky's cow. Hey, put the mask back on, man. Yo, what about the Texans? What about the Lions fans? Thanking Deshaun Watson for getting Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia fired. One, long overdue. It's long overdue.
Jets. Well, you on the clock. You're on the clock. Listen. I think Adam Gase got a Brett Brown. He got a Brett Brown contract, man. Like he was brought into tank. That's why he ain't fired. They brought them in the tank. He part of the. He started. He's the beginner of the process, huh?
He's the beginning of the process. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm saying didn't look good again. I know that.
Listen.
I know that much, man.
They're tanking for Trevor. They tanking for Trevor. Adam Gase gonna be. They going to blame everything on Adam Gase, and they're gonna blame everything on quarterback. What's gonna happen? They're gonna bring in Trevor. They're gonna bring in a new guy, and then they're gonna have their team. That's gonna look good.
I hope so.
Man, I'm lying. Jesse never gonna look good. I'm sorry. Jesse never gonna look good.
They're a coach away.
A coach away from what?
From starting over.
Oh, from starting over.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, you cannot. I don't care who you go and get to play for that guy. It's not gonna work. So, like, you could go. You draft Trevor and you bring him into that situation. I believe it, or any quarterback for that matter. And you bring him in that situation, you're gonna get the same results.
I actually think that
you're better.
If you can't win with Trevor, got to go. What else we talking about? What else happened? I'm trying to say this thing for last, but it keep popping up in my head, so I'm gonna talk about it. Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I thought he was gonna go for like 400. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Tyreek Hill was gonna go for like 400 yards receiving. You said, and I swear on everything, I was thinking about you Sunday when you said it, and when I was watching the game, I said, it's Bruce Arians. It's Bruce Arians. He's gonna cost them. Bruce Arians legit gonna cost them the Super Bowl run. And top bowls. Bruce Arians is not alone. It's gonna be him and top bowls. Let me ask you one question. I'm not a coach. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I'm not anything like that. I just put a couple of schemes together on Madden when I was playing. Why in the world was he covering Tyreek Hill one-on-one?
I don't think he was covering him one-on-one.
You wasn't covering that man one-on-one. He was doing that to your defense.
I believe he was bracketing him, but there was just so much bad communication on the back end. There was the one play where he was completely wide open. That was definitely miscommunication. There's no way the biggest threat on the other side, nobody's with. That's definitely miscommunication.
I thought,
which goes to Todd Bowles, in my opinion.
I thought he was wide open on both his touchdowns.
Yeah, but I thought the one was just blatant. Like I didn't even. I thought it was. I thought him and Pat Mahomes was playing catch.
You talking about the 75-yard one?
Oh yeah, I was like, yo, where did the Buccaneers say we can take this play off or something? Like it was terrible. Here's what I say about the Buccaneers. Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
Oh, bunch of parts, but they ain't fitting together. You got Rasheed Wallace, you got Steve Smith, you got David Stoudemire, you got Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf, Arvydas Sabonis, but they ain't fit together. Right now, there's too many. Who's the best running back on the team?
Ronald Jones.
Is he?
I think Ronald Jones is the best running back on the team.
You think Ronald Jones is the best running back on the team? I think so. I thought he was the better fit for the team. I felt like there was no reason to sign Leonard Fournette. I felt like you had the right weaponry. There was no reason to sign Antonio. I felt like they kept trying to add on to make a super team to make things as easy as possible, and they've actually made things more difficult for themselves.
I think I'm gonna tell you this. This is where I think there's the issue. I think Antonio Brown is perfect for Tom Brady. I think I actually think the weapons are perfect for Tom Brady. I think Bruce Arians.
Man, they don't fit his system
for Tom Brady.
They don't fit. They don't. If this was in New England with Josh McDaniels,
they'd be undefeated.
They'd be going nuts.
They'd be undefeated if this was in New England.
With Ronald Jones and Leonard in the backfield, and with those weapons, those tight ends, I just feel like this offense is made for, because as good as Godwin is, he's a guy that likes to be inside the numbers. The only guy that's outside the numbers for that team is Mike Evans. Gronk can do it, but that's not who he is no more. You know what I mean? Godwin can do it, but that's not his strength. That's not his strength. And with Bruce Arians' offense, he just want to air everything out downfield. That's not what you have.
Bruce Arians is annoying to me because he's a coach that's like, it works. It ain't my system. It's him. It's that guy. It was Jameis. Oh, it was Carson. Oh, it was Andrew Luck. Now it's the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time. No, Bruce. I've actually seen Tom Brady outside of your system. I've actually seen Andrew Luck outside of your system. I've seen these players outside of your system. They look like MVPs. In your system, they throw 30. They throw 30 for 30. Like it's not the players. It may be Jameis because he can't start over Taysom Hill, but it's not the players. It is your system.
This team and the defense isn't off the hook either. They made a lot of bonehead plays on that side of the football as well. All I know is this: time is short. So whatever run you need to go on to get yourself going for this playoff run, you better get on it now, because teams are steadily getting better. Because even though the Rams lost yesterday, their defense put them in position to win that game. Their offense got to make plays and score some points. So the Saints look like they're the best team in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers is still a threat. The Bucs better get it together.
The Bucs, I think all that guy needs to do is get to the playoffs. Because one of the things, the takeaway from that game, so I'll say this. Tom Brady cost him the game yesterday because he had 2 picks. Without those 2 picks, I think they win that game. But he's getting chemistry with Gronk. That's his guy. Mike Evans is an all-world talent. I think he's still young, and he dropped the big pass. He dropped the big pass, and he ran a dumb route. I think that they'll get it together. All they need to do is legit make the playoffs, and then we'll see from there. But that's in jeopardy right now too. So
yeah, and another thing with just making the playoffs, you still got to go on the road. Now, no crowds and all of that. I know the NFL was talking. I heard some rumblings that the NFL was thinking about bringing in crowds for the playoffs or whatever, but they ain't gonna be full capacity, so it ain't gonna have that much of a difference. But still, going on the road is still going on the road, and I feel like that's gonna be tougher with travel and everything, especially on an aging quarterback.
Okay, I was thinking about something else. We'll talk about Colts, Texans, Titans. Titans do look like the best team in that division. Give it to you. Titans look like the best team in that division. Can the Patriots make the playoffs?
No.
I don't think so. But after next week, they're gonna be 6-6.
Why? Because they got the Jets next week.
Yeah, they got the Jets.
Yeah, that'll be 6-6. Let me ask you this question. It's not about football. So I know we get ready to wrap it up or whatever. But I was listening to the radio today, and apparently John Wall and Bradley Beal don't want to play with each other. I know I'm going to get more for Bradley Beal. I know that. But I also feel like I can build around him better than I can John Wall. I moved John Wall. What am I asking for in return? Am I looking to just go ahead and get Russell Westbrook? Me personally, no. I don't. One, that's showing favoritism to a coach who I think should have been fired 3 years ago. So bringing in Russell Westbrook to please Scotty Brooks is out of the window. But I'm definitely moving John Wall. The only question is, with his contract and who he used to be, not who we don't know who he's going to be going forward, they're going to be asking for a lot. I wonder what teams are going to be willing to give up for John Wall.
So for me, I would really look to just get off of his contract. I'll say that. Bradley Beal is good enough, especially with these play-ins, to put you in the playoffs. I would surround him. Davis Bertot, you got him as your shooter. Thomas Bryant, he looked like a legit big right now. Develop him. Rui looking good. So I would legit look to surround Bradley Beal with like 3-and-D guys and shooters. And then, like I said, once you clear his contract, get rid of. I'm not getting rid of one bad contract to take on another bad contract. That's one of the things I won't do. I would try to free up space to be a player in the free agency market. You know what I mean? So I would take on Russ. I'm gonna tell you, if I was them, I would have jumped on that Nicholas Batum deal. I would have did it. I would have jumped on it in a heartbeat. I would have took on Nicholas Batum because he got one more year. He got one more year left on his contract.
Yeah, his contract expires after this year.
After this year, I would have traded. I would have traded John Wall to them in a pick or something like that. just to get off that contract.
Yeah.
And then I would have started over. Yeah, I mean, something like that.
I just thought it was weird that a week before training camp, that this is what we're hearing coming from that camp when so many teams are in the East are building, and now we're talking about a team that, and again, when they're healthy, in my opinion, they're either second or third. When everybody's healthy, they're either second or third best backcourt in the league. So it's tough going into a season where, man, we got him coming back. He's 100%. And we got Bradley. Bradley did that for us last year, put us in a position, man. We get John back in that wide open East. Who knows what happens? And now this, like,
I think they can play together because John's a pure point guard. Bradley, I think, needs the ball in his hand sometimes, but it works. It works in Portland. This is what I'll say. John's ego's hurt. His ego hurt. When definitely. They said this is Bradley Beal's team. Well, bruh, it's been Bradley Beal's team for the past 3 years. You want to be your team, stay healthy. Stay healthy, come back, show that you can beat the guy, and then it'll be y'all's team. Also, I think Bradley Beal is like 26, 27 when you are 30, 31. It's his team. He's balling. Don't get mad at it. You're the point guard.
Yeah.
Like, go out and do something in the East. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. It's crazy. I'm excited because we're super close to basketball. So I'm excited about it. But John Wall just need to chill, wait it out, and then see what he can do. If I'm Washington, I would do the same thing. He would play half the season, and then I would see what he got. Then I would get rid of him.
Yeah.
You said what?
I give him to a trade deadline.
Oh yeah, absolutely. John, you're gonna be here until trade deadline.
You're gonna be here till trade deadline. You handle it however you want to handle it. You want to act like an a-hole? Guess what? We're gonna treat you like one, and we're gonna trade you to a bad team.
Yo, you know what I think is interesting? Well, you know what? He won't even fit into that cap exception. So I'm not worried. Never mind. I was gonna say because Boston just cleared up a $30 million cap extension or exception. Maybe that's a good spot for him, but it's too much money. He worth too much money. I think he worth like $41 million or something like that.
But he don't want to be this. He don't want to be the second guy.
Yeah, second fiddle. Yeah. Well, bruh. Well, we're gonna ship you to New York. Then that's the only way you can be.
I'm thinking to myself, where are you going? Where you're coming off of injury, you're gonna automatically be the number one guy in this league.
New York. That's it.
That's it.
Well, also New York. I legit don't.
Right.
Maybe San Antonio, but Pop's the number one guy there. So
I was gonna say his ego definitely gonna have to be checked at the door. There.
I don't know where he goes to be the number one guy.
I don't know. He's showing he hasn't matured. Mm-hmm. If he's behaving like that and he's acting like that, he's showing that he hasn't matured. You're in a really good situation in Washington right now. I don't like the coach. I think the coach is going to be their downfall until they fire him.
Hey, listen, you've won 50+ games with that coach. So,
but they also lost some playoff games.
I'm with you.
The playoff series thing had no business losing. They should have not lost to Isaiah Thomas. Anyway, but you got the opportunity with that team with I'm gonna say it again, with the right coach to do some damage. Again, wide open East. Why would you be behaving like that, man? And I'm excited about basketball. And one of the reasons is him. I get to see him come back, man. He's one of the better point guards in the league. He's one of the better players in the league. So I want to see him. Hopefully he's healthy. But John, check your ego at the door, man. Coming back from you to play basically the equivalent of one season, probably I think like the last 4 years.
And that was crazy. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't both his injuries non-basketball related?
I believe so. I don't think he's gotten hurt on the court lately.
I tell you, he got hurt in the offseason with both his injuries.
I believe so.
You wasn't even injured doing your job. You was injured doing something that I mean, just maybe it's just routine. I mean, normal everyday stuff. But we haven't seen you, bro, in a minute. You aren't the guy no more. You aren't that guy. Sorry. You gotta come back and prove it. That's Bradley Beal's team. Hey, that's our show. We got final thoughts. I'm excited about basketball. My final thought is I'm excited, man. Get excited. That's what I'm gonna say. I was listening to a podcast this week. He was talking about keeping that same injury all throughout, keeping the same energy throughout life, like every day. So my final thought is, like I said, I'm excited about sports, but my final thought is get excited about everything. Be excited about everything. Let that be a representation of who you are. Excited, optimistic, and be on 120% at all times. If you do that, then you'll have better success. You have a lot of success in life. That's my final thought. Give 120% in everything that you do.
I'm sticking with it.
I said we back.
until it happens. Expand it or don't have it, man. Again, we just continue to see the wide open craziness of this year's college football to the point where now even the Big Ten could be added to the list of Power 5 conferences that may not be represented. Where, if that's the case, that's 3 of the Power 5 conferences that will not be represented. I'm not even sure a one-loss Iowa State Big 12 champion gets into the college football playoff.
It won't.
So we're talking about 3 of the Power 5 conferences possibly not being represented. Expand it or don't have it. Expand it or don't have it.
You heard him. That's it. Hey, listen, that's our show. I'm glad to be back with my guy. Speak on it. If you got anything you want us to talk about, drop a comment. Like I said, go to our YouTube page, follow us on there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our Instagram page, our Twitter page. I'm excited about being back. I'm excited about sports moving forward. That's our show for the day. I'm going to holler at y'all. Until next time, speak on it.